to all the participants who have joined us today's webinar entitled Quality Standards for Online Teaching and Learning. It is an initiative by the Department of HMS of our Hyderabad campus. So it's my immense pleasure to invite you to today's webinar on an important theme called quality, especially the significance of quality with reference to teaching and learning is on high demand nowadays, very especially due to this particular COVID-19 and after. Every university and every institution in the country is very much worrying about how to conduct successfully the online delivery. So delivery is one aspect, and to see the students make use of the delivery very effectively is another challenge. And most importantly, assessment will be the biggest challenge before us. So while these three important aspects, if they don't have the fine balance among them or among themselves, certainly we can't see the student be in a flourishing mode. Hence, we have a veteran scholar among us, Professor Sasi Kumar, a scientist turned teacher of mathematics with rich and an enormous experience to his credit, good number of papers, a good number of talks, and also have been into administrative positions across the country. Has been with us. We are very, very fortunate and truly blessed to have such a vast, well-experienced faculty has been in our institution. So on this context, I am really happy to invite him to deliver the session.
Namaskaram to all of you. I am seeing around 45 people plus another 6-7 on here. I am here today to talk on the quality standards for online teaching and learning. The first slide will show you the points which probably we'll be able to cover within the time. Maybe the next one, which has got the few headings of all that what I am going to talk to you. I made nearly 20 points. Probably we don't know how many of them will be covered within the time which we have. But let me admit that I don't know much about KL Educational Foundation because I'm only 19 days old in this institution. I joined on August 1st. This is my 19th day. And I'm talking on a topic where all of you are experts. But I'll be glad to share my past experience in learning and teaching and sharing it across. And probably start a discussion in this context. Last week I had a long discussion because Raghuvir, the Associate Dean, who is also new to KL, joined a month back, who is the Principal of Academic Staff College, called me and we had a long discussion. And soon after that I saw the AICT FDP topics which was circulated. Nothing much on online related, but mostly on the content as a refresher course on various subjects. It is on the same day the HOD of HNDS, Dr. Madhav Rao, because of whom I am here today on this platform to talk to all of you. He asked me to give a talk either in mathematics or in general topic. Because of these thoughts which I had in discussion with the Associate Dean, the ASC of the Principal of ASC, I thought probably I'll talk on a general topic to begin with. This is my first platform in the KL University. Thanks are due to Vice Chancellor and Registrar who made that to circulate to everybody with a extension of 1.5 hour proposal which I made to Dr. Madhav Rao. On the flyer came, it was 1 hour, and when the notification came, it is 2 hours. So we have a flexibility from 1 hour to 2 hours. Let us see how we grow in this. I am aware of my limitations, but I am quite aware of the responsibility and the trust the KL Foundation has given to me, opening up to a large audience of expert teachers from Vijayawada or Guntur, what's the campus called, and Hyderabad. I want more discussion, so you are welcome to see my telephone number, which is on the slide, as well as on my login details, 944-7437-948. Because I believe the interaction has to be simultaneous, because that is how I grow in my talk. Because it's a huge topic, I could go in different directions, but your questions will lead me to the right plot. That's why I have only headings there. Whatever comes in my mind is what I speak. I am sure today teachers are confused. If you are not confused, that means you are not dedicated to the profession. That's it. Otherwise, every teacher is confused today. Because education is in change. Education for change for some people. Probably education for the future, how it is to be. These are the 3 different thoughts people have. I am also confused as a teacher. And I am in deep thoughts. So I am sharing my thoughts to all of you. Probably we could debate. Though the title talks about quality standards for online teaching and learning. That itself is a confused topic, because quality standards are not defined by anyone. Quality itself is a highly philosophical terminology. Online teaching and learning, there is nothing called teaching and learning, it's only learning. The teaching is only the production, the product happens to be the learning outcomes. The attention and retention of students today in these days are too low. Especially in the online class, I am sure the teachers will have very less. So I know how difficult it could be to catch you and get into attention to what I am talking to you. But the objective and scope of this discussion is very clear. It is for all of you to react, all of you to give a comment, and that is what I do in my classroom with the students also. It's not one-way delivery. I always allow my students to be on the stage and they keep talking more. So in the same context, probably much more when I talk to teachers. I have been into teaching teachers for last 20 years and I loved doing it thoroughly. Because there is a great quote which says ignorance is bliss. But I believe it's a stupid quotation which is not valid today. Because knowledge is useless is equivalent to saying ignorance is bliss. I am sure no teachers can admit to this quote. I believe ignorance is stupidity. It's full of tension, anxiety, worry, resentment. Ajnanam can be solved only through knowledge. So all of us have to be curious. If you don't have the question in us, we cannot retain question. And I'm sure all children have that by birth. So look at the knowledge what is given, whatever discussion we have as a small child. So get into that knowledge, get information. If you think I know and I don't require any more knowledge, that is ignorance. Let it come from anyone, because Bharatiya Shastram always says യുക്തിയുക്തമുപാദേയം വചനം ബാലകാദപി അന്യത്രണമവത്യാജ്യം അപ്യുക്തം ബ്രഹ്മകാദപി. It doesn't matter who says. If that has logic, you must accept it. So that is what I believe in learning. Online association with online, ISRO started EduSat program in 2004. 2005 I became academic staff college director in Calicut University. I remember going from ISRO to academics. Right time the EduSat program was in. The satellite interactive terminal, where you could have terminal where students and teachers can communicate each other. And my first experience with that was in JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University campus in Delhi. We were connected to North Kashmir, to South Tamil Nadu, Assam to Gujarat, and we were talking to different classrooms parallelly. And that was the time when we started. But unfortunate that till recently not much is taken by the academic institutions because there was no great demand. For most of the people, the digital is only putting your slides on projector and putting into electronic projection, that's it. But that's not online teaching at all. It is not the content which you write onto the board becomes a slide, so that you are conveniently avoiding using the whiteboard or blackboard. In 2014, almost 10 years, EduSat could reach up to 15 million students, where they were taken experts from different places and then they were sharing. We know a talk like this or a general invited talk, wherever it happens, it can only give you a spark, and it is the individual who is listening to the talk has to make it into a fire. Even when in any classroom, traditionally also, the best of the best acharyas, we are not acharyas, we are only teachers. Acharya is one who practices what he speaks, and somebody looks at them and then feel, oh, I have to follow him. Yadyada jarati sreshta tattadevetalochana sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartade. Whatever he speaks becomes a pramanam, a unquestionable knowledge. Such people, when they speak and give class with the total dedicated 1-to-1, not 1-to-60, 1-to-150, 1-to-1, Acharya Padamadate, only 1/4 of the knowledge can be given to the children or the students who are sitting in front of you or the receivers. Because always when you listen to me, now you perceive your knowledge in the way you love to perceive it. You are judging, criticizing, analyzing, comparing, but I'm sure you are not understanding or getting the exact what is going on in my mind, because I have my limitations on my language and my limitations on proximity with you, my limitations on frequency, understanding each other. Therefore, what the best way I deliver with all the multimedia support also, I will not be able to convey all that I have to you. Similarly, no teacher will be able to communicate everything. So it's only normally 25% if you are very good in that. So don't presume that a teacher is going to give 100% knowledge. No, even Newton comes and teaches Newton's law, I'm sure he will not be able to communicate the whole thing to the students. It's only the learning out breakdowns which happens inside the student. The perceiver perceives the way the perceiver want to perceive, and not the way the speaker want the perceiver to perceive. So I'm sure the perceiver has got a lot of roles in breaking down the knowledge. So a classroom lecture or an online lecture, it remains almost the same. Probably online have got much better facility if I am using a lot of animation, simulation, etc. It's well explained in my book on adaptive learning, which is published by Discovery Publishers. You can log on to my website, type in Dr. TPS or my telephone number, you can get into my website and then you can download the book and look at it. Adaptive learning, their pedagogy and practices in e-web and net learning, which was written maybe 15 years back. It doesn't change even today. So, Acharyat Padamadate, Padam Shishya Swametaya. 25% is learned, 1/4 is learned by the student. Padamsa Brahmacharibhya. Through discussions, they must learn Brahmacharibhya. That is why our course program gives a degree called B, Bachelor. Bachelor is Brahmachari. They have to have friends, the peer groups learning, a community learning, socialized way of mixing together, and they grasp a lot of knowledge. If that doesn't happen, and if you are distancing yourself from mixing together with the people around, I am sure we are losing a lot. Acharyat Padamadate Padam Shishya Swamedaya Padam Sa Brahmacharibhya Padam Kalakramenacha. The 1/4 can be only learned a little late. The quality standards for delivery of such things, though you are on online, there are great texts available. I always believe in online teaching or learning or any discussions or any presentation. I am not supposed to list down what is available on the online today. No classes should happen if a student is able to Google and look at it, what is there. You should only give something from your side which cannot be Googled and got. And that has to add value to what he can get from the online. Then only it becomes a real online teaching. Otherwise, you are only dumping the online, you are only doing a Xerox machine or a copier job. There has to be a good community, a faith integration between the teacher and the student. So if all of you don't have a faith that Dr. TPS is telling something different, I'm sure your attention will go. But if you catch, I'm sure you are going to get some difference in you. The structure and interface has to be very clear. Therefore, the teaching and learning will become one and the same. There is no difference. I'm also learning, you're also learning parallel. The technology and accessibility keep changing, so you don't have to stick on to that. Most of the time, the subject content is not what is given importance, the technology is given importance. Then you're losing the whole purpose. It's like I'm more worried about the plate being supplied, but not the food what is in the plate. That shouldn't happen. The student learning assessment is a big job, but it's very simple if you are highly creative. We will come to that one by one. What is most important? We should have a standard support system. Online learning cannot be standardized because each teacher have their own style of doing it. Partly teaching cannot be standardized because it's like every cook has got their own taste. I'm sure the same content, if I do it on a second day, it could be entirely different. So there has to be an online community who discuss about this and then understand what exactly can be done. Create a resource plan. Generally that could be the syllabus or that could be what we want. Who can do that? That is essentially to be done. Categorize the task. You can hire experts when really it is required, or could refer to those people who are available online in different places. Probably what is recorded and provided can be referred to. Allow a lot of fluidity. Rigid things will not work in academics. Then you are not creative, your students will not never become creative. And create focus groups. Maximize the interface. The community has to happen inside the teachers and also among the students. The quality standards for online teaching and learning. In the overall technology stack, there could be plenty of standards. Somebody may say that these 3 you follow, these 13 you follow, these hundreds you follow. It doesn't matter, because every transaction which I do is an internal process which happens in my brain, and that neurons suggest me this is what I have to speak. I'm sure such teachers are creative, and if you put them into standards, you're actually losing that creativity which they have. So it's essential, regardless of the departments of programs, you must get into that activity in which People have to be given freedom to look at what they really wanted to do. Nagaya, there is a disturbance? Somebody's.
I request all the participants to be into mute mode, please.
Yeah, I think it's done.
Who have joined recently.
Yeah. Education system is in a tsunami change now. We don't have to reform it because teachers need to be transformed. You cannot do inventions in this, but always you can do an improvisation, small changes. Make it adaptive to the group. That is what is required. No standardization, but need a personalization to the receiver, the student, the learner. Every student is looking for someone who delights them, who will make them naturally joyful, make them curious, explore their own pace, fascinate them, kindle the flame inside them. And I'm sure each teacher can become one of them. Not that every teacher is in a real tandem with every student. That is what is called adaptivity. Your style gets adapted to some of your students, and I'm sure they will follow you. And therefore, I am not on standardization, but there has to be a improvement, an innovation, an improvisation, creating spirit in each one of us. As teacher, keep a flexibility, but all that within the framework or contributing towards better learning by the students. And if we can integrate that within the department, within the small group, within the focus team, whatever software which we use, whatever facility uses, that doesn't matter. Excellence is defined slightly different in academics, because it is the output, it is not the teacher who is excellent. What is important? My students. If this seminar today is excellent, not when Dr. TPS speak excellent, it's all who are listening to me have some outcome, some takeaway, some brand value which you create inside you. So my objective is very clear. Make a difference in teaching strategies. How best you can get close to students. Create question students. How do you make your teaching more interactive online? Online being in line with life today, because everybody is in confusion and everybody is in panic state. What are the social aspects? How do you do the daily interactions? For me, life is live in full enjoyment. LIFE. Live in full enjoyment. But for every teaching and students faculty, it is learn in full enjoyment. So if you don't make your learning and teaching enjoyable, edutainment, the learning just becomes an investment for future earning. It becomes a business. I always believe in writing something on life, LIFE. Maybe we will look at all the 20 points. The first point is highlighted in the next slide. The students' needs and instructor demands. This is what I am planning to talk today, just now. Education is only an activity where the product quality depends on who produces. The quality what I am giving today depends on me, but not on anything else. Here, as a team, probably we could make the best product out of it. In academics, power, position, it's all temporary. It doesn't matter. Leadership depends on the quality, the behavior, what is in you which is permanent, what gives the leadership in you. Therefore, you are the autonomy person who has got control in your classes. So I'm sure you must be able to use it as best as you can. The days have gone where people are giving like plate meals. You cannot deliver everything and the students will take whatever they want, and the plate have got lot of items, lot of subjects, lot of things around which they may not find any taste, they will just throw it. That days have gone. Today every teacher is like a counter in a buffet dinner. If you deliver good, I am sure the student will come to you and you will have to give more and more. So I am sure it's a distribution system which is entirely different in the education context when teachers can show that you are really good. So it has to have a creativity, a mix of relaxed mood, a mix of social belongingness. Otherwise, all the teaching, the content which you deliver will become waste because it will not have a taste for the children. It has to be distributed. Let the student don't come and collect it. You have to distribute it. Therefore, the next slide, I am going to talk to you on what is communication and interactive learning. The next one, Shivanagaya, the next one will show you the communication and the interaction. The interactive learning and communication. In my book on adaptive learning, I talk about what I am doing is only a blah blah, only words. Only I am showing one slide where the leading is understood so that you know these are all what is said to be covered. This much is there. But I am sure that gives lot of advantage to you know. Yeah, he is in the second point. He has to cover another 18 points. You prepare yourself for listening to me more. If that preparation is not there, your attention will go. So it's essential. So if I show a graph, probably an indicator that shows how I am going to cover the topic today. That's essentially enough for a professor doing to a large number of teachers. But in a classroom, that's not good enough. I will have to use graphics, I will have to use table, I will have to use audio, video, animation, simulation, so that I can change my children from the apprentice, describe one by one, point by point, to a descriptive, to inductive, deductive and discovery style. And that's what will happen as I proceed further in this class also. I will try to discover what is that going into your mind so that you can text any point of time which I am looking at the messages which are coming. I am happy that at least 2-3 people have messaged me so far, and I love to see such messages come, and that is what the interaction which I want. Either you could do it on Telegram or on WhatsApp and then send me messages and comments so that I will be keep looking at it and then mold my or orient my lecture accordingly. The contributory methods for every one of us as an individual, personalized, collaborative, which I use all the tools like what just now I said is send me messages, which creates my tools for my innovative job. That is the virtual environment in which we have to work. It's not just online talking. It is also interacting through another media which I have got probably a phone, the WhatsApp message or the Telegram message or any telephone call which I can do. That is the interaction which makes the study so good in the virtual environment, which is never available elsewhere. Probably in a classroom you cannot, because you disturb others when you ask questions. Here the individual can text the message and ask me questions, but still I can continue the delivery. And if my attention is good, probably I can pick up points from that to answer. So I wish every teacher use this so that this platform will tell you, this lecture which I am doing will tell you how do you do that in your classroom accordingly. So this becomes a flexible study. That is what is the online communication which we have to adopt ourselves. And therefore this cannot have a quality standard because it depends on how flexible you are, how adaptable you are to the system which you are into. But how do you integrate them? How do you interact with them? I have got a great model which is explained in my textbook, Adaptive Learning, which probably is in this context of online learning is more adaptable. Adaptive learning will have a learner model. So I must know how much the students know. How do I know? Interact with them. So if I am not making my points very clear, I can ask each one of you to send a message to me so that I know, oh, I am not, or I am not supplying what you exactly require. There has to be a content model. I am 100% sure these are the 20 points which I am going to cover today. So there is a content available. In that context only, the learner has to interact. That is what is the adaptive engine should do. So roll it accordingly. That can be optimized, that can be made into highly interactive with a good activity which you do in your classrooms. Sometimes I have seen students don't even respond. I have experience of looking at online classrooms at various places. I have seen people say that no, my mic is not working, my camera is not working, my network has issues. And sometimes when the PPT itself is vanished from the screen, people don't even respond. That means nobody is even looking at what you are presenting. And that can be in a classroom where you are teaching engineering subjects or maybe medical science or maybe any other subjects. I guess the teachers are facing a lot of trouble because of these problems in a day-to-day classroom and need to be debated, understood what can be done. It's not somebody giving a solution to these problems. I'm sure there has to be a small group and that group has to discuss and then come out with some solutions, not problems. Everybody knows the problem today. So we have to look at what can be done. Concretized solutions. It need not be adapted by everyone, but it could be slightly modified by each individual when he wanted to fit it in his classroom. So how do we make our online classroom highly interactive is one of the questions which I'm asking you. I like to get comments from each one of you. Let me see how many of you comment. How many of you have got some thoughts in mind? It could be 1 point, not 2 points. Because most primarily point what you like. I love to get your comments on either on Telegram, on WhatsApp. My telephone number is 944 74 37948, Dr. TPS. Let me know how you can make your classroom more interactive. I'm sure the teachers are not interactive. Your students will never be interactive. So these answers which I get today now on this question what I'm asking will tell how good an online teaching standards can be developed in this institution. And if you don't respond, that shows your students will not respond and you are not that adaptable to some improvisation or changes. I'm looking for answers, but the answers are too low.
So there are a chart box here, Professor?
Yeah, but that will become difficult because I will not be able to get it access parallelly. Second one, third one, if people have problem in putting onto me, probably you could put it onto chat box. I'll pick it up from there.
Sure.
Yeah, that is also one of the options which you have, right? Yeah, let me see how many of you have some points, but some people have some problem because they don't want to expose themselves saying that this is what I suggest, So probably it could be much better if it goes personally. This is what happens in the classroom also. Some of the time, the students don't like to raise questions in the classroom, but I'm sure they send it across. It's good. I've got few coming up. Yeah, this is one option which people do, the quiz, and also ask feedback. Be show more social. Am I not that social? I think I am trying to be. Maybe my face doesn't look that I am so pleasant. It's bad. But I am internally, by manas I am pleasant. Yeah. So some game is possible. Yeah. Know your audience perfectly well. Yeah. I am trying to learn my audience who are looking at me. This is what I'm doing. So yeah, some of the comments which came are acceptable. You could post at any point of time. What I feel generally is pick up the right tool. So just now what Dr. Shivanagaya suggested is chat box. Probably my pickup is my WhatsApp so that I can always respond to him and I know that this is the person who commented, so that my relation with that person becomes the bondage becomes much better. Unless the teacher have got a good bondage with the students, I'm sure that will not give a good delivery. If nobody is responding, that shows the lecture is too bad. I must quit. I remember once I went to Dubai, the response was too bad. I just left the place. I just went for one lecture and I just went for the out of the place. If I'm sure if the response is too bad, this may be my last class in the academic staff college in KL University. So let me see how good, because there is no point in talking to a wall if nobody is responding. So I believe in response and communication. That's what I believe. If that is not the practice, it shows the institution themselves don't accommodate such people who are more flexible, more liable, more creative, more authentic. So best thing could be record. I remember somebody else was telling the other day, the class is being recorded. Immediately somebody said, a student said, sir, it's not recorded because I'm seeing it's not getting recorded. But I'm recording this. Though you may feel that I'm not recording, I've got a different gadget to work through, I can record it parallelly. So I'm doing it. So you must know that a teacher has to be much smarter than the student sometimes. The monitor the chat is one possibly what happens here, and check periodically what's happening. So I'm checking periodically my WhatsApp. I got some 6-7 not good enough. From a large number, 6-7 is not good enough. Not even 10% is that is responding. Out of 72 participants, only 7 messages so far. That shows it's too bad. If not 20%, actually that shows the class is not at all impressive. So I think I should quit as early as possible. I will share my book. You can go to my website and download my book. Yeah, I'm so happy that some more people are presenting. This is how the interaction can be made better. Ask students about the last movie they have watched. Yeah, today morning I watched the movie Pariksha. I don't know how many of you have seen that movie. I'm a fan of movies. I keep looking at movies. I'm a critic of movie. You can see me along with Amitabh Bachchan, Sanjay Dutt, Rasul Pukutti, Major Ravi, who are all in films. I am the person who started Oman movie festivals in Oman. So I am very close to movie. So today just I finished the very recent movie which is just released now, the Pariksha movie. That's a beautiful movie on teaching and learning. If you want to know, you must get into that. So I'm thankful to those people who respond. I keep saying the teachers are like doctors. Unless you keep start your diagnosis first, which that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to find out what is the problem with the faculty members who are listening and they are not responding. The doctor keep on asking questions and the patient doesn't respond. How do you, the diagnosis is done? I'm sure in your classroom, all questions and tests and examination are every moment which you do with your children. When getting into the university, probably there is an entrance exam, the previous marks which becomes a diagnosis. But that's not good enough. My examination which tells that there is bad parameters, response is too bad. These are the problems. Out of my diagnosis, this is what I found. Then immediately what I should do, I will give a medication. So probably that medication will be the report after this class which I submit to the registrar or the vice chancellor, and that will give probably a medicine. That's a prescription. In a classroom, the students are responding, and what you give after that is the teaching. And what should happen at the end of my 1 hour class? I must cure all the problems. If you have told me all the problems, definitely I must be able to cure them. Or I must refer to the higher experts in a different field, wherever I have to refer. So that's what is supposed to be done. So the teaching job is like a doctor's job. We use same terminology. If you look at it, the teachers also does test paper. Doctors also do testing. The diagnosis is done, which is called examination, urine examination, blood examination. We do examinations in the class. What for? To identify the trouble. So what is the purpose of examination? Is it to scold the student? You have not done well, so you are not a good student. No. A doctor never scolds the patient. So no teacher should scold the student. The idea of response, the idea of diagnosis is to find the difficulty in my student and treat them. So what is to be done? Sometime I will have to give extra medicine, extra care. So that extra care and medication is what is teaching. If you are not doing diagnosis, you are only giving some medicines, it doesn't serve. It overreacts. Sometimes it gives you a lot of side effects. Unnecessary medicine should not be given. So that is what is exactly to be done. That is why I keep on asking, give a response so that I know where I have to do my direction setting in my class today. The relevant content instantaneously become engaged in the program. That's what is being told. This is what I am exactly saying. Thank you for the response what is given. I am not calling the name because I don't know whether you like to do it. Otherwise, allowed to read the names and tell. The students' response will be less. How to overcome? I am 100% sure if you are teacher and you are not responding to some class like this where I am dealing with you, your student will never respond to you. I never had this problem. You look at all the videos which I have posted on my YouTube. When I ask students to ask questions, out of 100, 80 of them will come running onto stage to respond to my classes. Starting from the induction training which I do in an engineering college, I make my children agile. I don't leave. Probably that's much difficult to faculties who are there, but you can see my all teachers training programs, I do it thoroughly. I've been doing it. If that doesn't happen, what you're doing is useless, which is what I believe. So there has to be a quality teaching with a lot of personal interaction. There can be a procedure which is followed by somebody, but I have got my style of doing it. So that style is where I am making my people to react. I'm so happy at least there are 10 people now. So it is improved. I'm sure this doesn't happen. If this group of people who are listening to me today, the faculties, if this happens to be a regular activity where you make every teacher who teaches you, talks to you from academic staff college or maybe any invited talk, if it is only one side blah blah blah, if everybody was doing it every time when you speak to them, definitely there would have been a lot of responses. This shows this institution doesn't have that interactability. That is lacking. When teachers don't have that interactability, I'm sure you cannot make it with your students. If you are so, I'm sure you can do it. It is not my word. That's what Swami Vivekananda said. You are the person, what you are doing will show you how your followers will do to you. We have good technology. We have good curriculum mandate. We have exceptionally great practices which people have defined in this world. Everyone talks about interaction. But what is happening when it comes to the teachers interaction? It doesn't happen. We don't have that quality. We don't have that character in us. We don't have that behavior in us. My MBA, Master of Business Administration, which I did on knowledge management. Knowledge management talks about it is not the system. It is not what you do in the text. It is not the content and the technology. It is the human who create a lot of knowledge. And if you don't document them, I'm sure each one of you as faculty have got a lot of points coming in your mind. I'm pleading, I'm asking, text them. Just type in and send it. When you send it, that gets documented. If you don't send it, that doesn't get documented. So there has to be a documentation. That is what is knowledge management. Because these shows the concern, these shows what is in you as a teacher who thinks about the quality standards. And this is a platform where you can document it. And that documentation will reach to somebody who is looking at it. Otherwise it looks like blank paper. There, a good standardization will come into practice. So I'm so happy some of them are responding. This is how I make it. Maybe one hit doesn't break. So what do? I keep on breaking. So everyone has got their own logical view in finding solutions. That is what I am doing. I am putting my finding, my methods of getting response from you. Each word what I am using, I am considering is a long-term investment in each one of your mind. It's a large effort by good teachers always, consuming good time. I am seeing in one of the class which I attended, I have seen online teaching. The teacher is almost 40 minutes asking response from the students. Why students are not responding? 60 of them are there, one is responding. Same, today now we have got 72 people, and maybe 75 or more, and I am asking only 10% is responding. Why? Because that is the culture which we are into. Therefore, it need to be changed, for which I invest long time. Lot of effort is being done on that. Otherwise, what we do? We only have definitions, we have concepts, we have got reusable learning objects, e-content, put them together in a slide and then push it into somebody. That doesn't work. The Consortium for Educational Communication, where 15 years back I got a 1-month training on how to make your classroom online. If you are not gone to get into CEC, Consortium for Educational Communication under UGC, they do a beautiful activity which even today, what I am doing is I am using a lot of online programs. Yesterday I posted an online digital drama which I created with my students from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Kerala, Mysore. All of them put together, I created a drama which is the latest posting in my YouTube. Dr. TPS, go and Google and find out YouTube. You will see the drama which is created for 20-25 minutes drama, which is directed by me, conceived by me. So what do? When we create, we interact with the people. We interact with the people, creating things parallelly. If that cannot be done, if you don't have an objective, if you don't have references, if you don't have modules kept, if you don't have assignments kept, if you don't have case study and the feedback, your class doesn't become good. Maybe discussions are must. FAQs can be created out of the discussions which comes today. There have to be a quiz program, and these recorded things what we get as the comments probably will become an FAQ tomorrow, from which we create a quiz competition. That is what I mean by the collaborative, synchronized and asynchronized learning what we discussed now. So the next slide is what we have just finished. The point collaborative synchronized discussion what we have just finished. Now we will go to the next, the find on space and access additional resources. What is that we are concerned today? The increased social connectedness which students had with their peer groups all on a sudden got stuck. I'm sure I asked one of them, probably I must have visited more than 700 engineering colleges, starting from Hamirpur NIT to Kerala, north to south, east to west. Whenever we ask one question, they keep saying the classrooms are 75% because 75% attendance is must.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah, Shanti.
My voice is not visible.
My voice is not audible. Now, the professional responsibilities what we have, the digital pedagogy which we have.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Is it okay?
Yes, Professor. Now we are able to listen to you.
Yeah, somebody unmuted. The professional responsibilities, the digital pedagogy, the community building, the learner engagement, everything used to happen on the veranda. I'm sure most of the students keep interacting in the veranda or in the canteen or in the washroom. Now all that phase have gone. Now what we have is a social distancing. The connection is lost between students and the peer groups interaction has lost. Therefore the learning becomes 25%. So unless you make your classroom more interactive, I'm sure you will have a lot of problems. Therefore, the course design criteria should be one on interactivity only. That is why I keep on asking your suggestions, your comments live, so that probably I can react to whatever that you are sending me as a message. The addressing the problems of reciprocal communication among teachers, yes, very much required. That is what I am pressing. I am so glad that somebody points out same thing, but it always happens in any factory or in any environment. You have only 10% to 20% working, the rest of 80% is, yeah, let me get my salary, do what I want, I am not bothered about anything else. I think that will not work, because you have to change, you have to have improvisation. All the course design criteria is taken care of. How your cognitive approach can be made more effective, how the psychomotor skill can be changed into online, how the learner linked resources can be put into a course material online, how that interaction can become much better. That is what we have to debate. Advantage of e-learning is huge, because your class, my class today is not essential. Probably this should give a spark for all of you to look at materials on standards on online learning, which is prescribed elsewhere. You will get thousands of material, pages material. I am sure it comes from various best universities in the world. I keep saying I don't have to teach simple pendulum in the class, because simple pendulum is being taught by MIT professor so well, and that live with the physics is what is essentially the author of the book, who takes classes so fantastic, which in my life I will never be able to do that. So why should I repeat the same thing in a low standard method in my class? I can ask my students, go and look at it and then come back with some questions. But relevance of that in today's context, in this syllabus for this course, I have to define and give to my students. So I am only trying to do that here. The advantages of e-learning, fantastic. In this present context for our day-to-day class, how can we implement? Otherwise, all that classroom which teaching we have, through an online class, we can finish it 50 times or 50% is good enough. We can make it double faster, because everything is available. You can ask students, this is what you have to look at. That's it, good enough. As somebody said, there are beautiful movies, there are beautiful documentaries, there are beautiful classrooms available. So use them. Don't repeat what is available. I don't want, or I am not a teacher who scan or Xerox or put that what is in the textbook, which is available elsewhere for every student, to put it onto the slide and then start reading that problem and tell you that this is what you... No, that is, reading is not my job. I am a teacher. I have to do something different. Let the student read and come back to me with questions. Why are you asking questions for the students to get answers? It should not happen. You must allow your students to ask questions to you as a faculty. This is what I want. I am not trying to tell you the standards of quality which is required, or quality standards or standards of quality in online teaching or learning. I don't distinguish between teaching and learning. If learning happens, you are teaching. If learning doesn't happen, you are not teaching. That's it. That's as simple as that. So how do I get into that subject? I have to make you interact with me so that I will be able to deliver, update easily and quickly whatever I wanted to do through this class as best as I can do, so that you improvise your learning standards as best and as quickly as you can. So maybe the next point which I wanted to tell you is smart and lazy and innocent and poor. How do you self-manage? That is what I am seeing in this group of people who are assembled here, around 80 people. You know, the whole philosophy and psychology of learning, the whole characteristics of a student or somebody who is listening to a lecture is categorized as people who are generally very, very smart. You will see them 20%. And you will see people who are innocent and poor, maybe 80%. What happened to the innocent poor people? They have a lot of problems. They have net problem, they have language problem, They have no character of initiating such discussions. Therefore, what will happen? They will not respond to your classes at all. And what happens to the other few? They are all smart. They have a lot of ability. They have pakka internet. Everything is working. But what is lacking in them? They lack that interest. And therefore, what will happen? They will become lazy. So, who is good? A poor 80% student who are innocent but they are not able to learn. And we have another 20% who is smart but they are lazy. There can be maybe very few people who are in between. But what is our job? Make that innocent people to become more active. Make these lazy fellows to become more active. That is what a teacher's job is. There are a lot of data, a lot of information that doesn't become knowledge unless you process it. God has given us the creativity in us. That's why we called Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram. Inside our Hridayam there is a Brahma which makes us creative, allow us to think. So what is to be done? Make that knowledge which is given by Saraswati given to Brahma. That's why Saraswati and Brahma is wedded together. That is why education has got that value. If you are not creative, I am sure your learning process doesn't become so well. Therefore, it doesn't make any sense in learning patterns. Education is not learning some subject content unless you are creative in that. So, most essentially, you have to be creative. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunani samani chaitani nranam pashunam nanam naranam adhigo vishesho nane bihina pashubis samana. Aharam, food. Nidra, sleep. Bhayam, worry and tension and anxiety and all that. Maithunam, maithunam is sex. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunani samani chaitani nranam pashunam. For human being and animal, these are all equal. What makes a human much better? Jnanam naranam adhigo vishesho. Knowledge is extra to human being. And how do knowledge comes? With quests, with questions, with interaction. And if you don't have that, manushya rupena mrigascharanti, like an animal, two-legged animal is moving. They will also hear, but they don't respond. The response is what makes a human as a human. So if somebody is not responding, somebody is not asking questions, somebody is not demanding knowledge, they are equivalent to an animal. That's what our Shastra says. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunani samani chaitani nranam pashunam nanam naranam adhigo vishesho nane bihina pashubis samana. There has to be. Again unmuted. Somebody unmuted me. Somebody unmutes me in between. I think that is the option which you have in this Google Meet. So, ahara nidra bhaya maithunani samani chaitani nranam pashunam nanam naranam adhigo vishesho nane bihina pashubhi samana. If you don't do that, if you are not having that quest for learning, you are not that creative in learning, then you are like an animal. The best teacher is one who creates that interest in people. If that interaction doesn't happen, that thought process doesn't happen, I am sure we are losing a lot in the learning process. That's all what exactly required in defining the best way of learning. What is the danger of e-learning? There are a lot of danger of e-learning. That danger of e-learning is the E inside that. Many people just do only little bit of putting something onto electronic, that becomes e-learning. That's not e-learning. Use all the gadgets together. The lecture hour is 2 hours. The derivation part of the problematic part is to make the class interactive and interesting. Yeah, that's what we are trying to do. What the large lot of people who don't understand what is exactly the habit of a poor student. The poor student doesn't interact. But I'm sure a good student who really wanted to learn interacts very fast. So you must create a small group of people who are the smart interactors and the less interactors. I'm sure if they sit together and they create as a group, I don't know how many of the softwares which we are using today probably will have the conference facilities available and somebody can monitor it. And if you don't have, they are the softwares which can be used. The poor traditional hands also never used such interactive small group learning activities. I remember 20 years back when I got the probably the worst students in a school, where I picked up and then started a program called ICON and created 90 students, one of the best international students within a year. That is just because I created good group of children who will interact. They will start asking questions, and such questions will be the leading what I am supposed to do in the class in the next, because those discussions are being monitored. And in case if they have a real guidance required, probably I will only patch that part of it. That's what I did. That is what is blended learning. Blended learning is you look at the students, look at the online, understand where the intervention is required and put your hand inside that. And today that blended learning can be more web enhanced. Probably I can refer people to that. So the technology richness is there, and there is a task complexity which is to be addressed. So if you take the technology richness in one axis, task complexity in another axis, I'm sure a good fit will be a 45-degree inclined line. Therefore, it has to have that online accessibility, online advantage to be used, plus addressing the complexity what we are facing today in this world. So I'm sure the course introduction, announcement, comment, all that has to become as part of discussions among the teacher and the students. The orientation should be done like that. The e-learning situations is not a one-way process. The feedback, that's more essential. The instructor's contact information, probably that is what I did today. My telephone number is given. Every slide contains my telephone number. I'm sure if you are a teacher, definitely the student knows your telephone number. Probably he cannot disturb you on call, but I'm sure he can always get by message. And that message is good enough. That message, if you don't respond at exactly that time, I guarantee all my students only one thing. Any message which comes on the same day, I answer, and then otherwise I don't sleep on that day. I'm sure that can be done. I've been working into different academic institutions at different places, meeting hundreds and thousands of students, and I've got lack of contacts. I keep doing it every day. Because if you are smart enough, I'm sure your smartphone can help you in doing most of the things, because generally FAQs are answered with stored text. When you are dealing some subject, I'm sure most of the students will ask you questions related to that, and you only have to refer them where to look for answers and give them assignments so that you work less and the teachers work more. Today that's what is happening. That has to be the reversed. You must make your students to work more. There is a great textbook in a management paradigm. The monkeys carries on his shoulders. The manager carries monkeys on his shoulders. Similarly, the teachers carry monkeys on his shoulders. If you are not smart enough, probably such messages and assignments will create a lot of trouble in you, because you will spend a lot of time in responding to them. But I'm sure if you are smart enough, that doesn't happen. You can do multimedia clippings. You can also refer to them. Yesterday I posted what is to be done after +2. I had more than 100 questions which course is to be joined. So what I did was, I created a YouTube video and posted and said, look at it. I'm sure if your class is like that, definitely that's good enough. Probably if I have got a topic to talk like this, if I am not taking the interaction now, that would have been good enough. If I am only talking for 1 hour, I would have posted my talk on YouTube and then asked, or maybe I can share that video with you and ask you, respond. But I am not doing it because I want an online interaction with you. If online interaction is not there, your class can be a video which is posted. That's also online. But that is not actually in line with people who wanted to do that. The next slide, the next point which I want to discuss is identify the Muda. Muda is a Japanese concept in which it defines what is not necessary, which costs you more. Understand each classroom when you are talking. When I am talking to 75 faculty members, I understand 1 hour of the faculties who are in KL University who are more productive probably, who are supposed to invest their time in a better quality thing. I am using, probably if you are attentive to me, I am sure that much time I am stealing from your life. Therefore, I must be very careful because the time is money. If the cost is counted by in terms of number of hours, number of minutes, number of seconds which we are spending each other, identify that as quite useful. If I am not using it quite useful, I am sure I am wasting a lot of time. And then how do I do that? Categorize the time which is non-productive. How do you do that? Ask a lot of questions. Why should I do it? Is there any other way? That's why 5 why. Keep on asking that 5 times. I'm sure you will reach into a conclusion saying that, yeah, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I should not have done this. If that happens, probably next time I should not do this. Probably that is how I refine myself, my class, which makes it much better than what it would have been in the previous session. That is what is essentially I am supposed to do. So ask Muda, identify what is important, what is not important, and then categorize and remove what is not required. That is what is called the problem elimination. So I eliminate all the problems what is not to be there. That is in business standard, in the factory standard, it's called the 5S. Sort, what is required, what is not required. And then straighten, shine, standardize and sustain. So in teaching and classroom, in a cleaning workspace, probably that if I am following, I may also clean my computer. I will also clean my class notes. I will also clean my house. I will also clean my office room. If that 5S is to be applied, I can apply it everywhere. So it is not just for factory, it is not for class, it is in your personal life. So the time management, quality, safety, the visual control, customer related, oriented. I happen to be a professor of management for a few years. So what we do is, the quality has to be defined by every action which you do. If you have that in your personal life, I am sure it is there in your professional life, because it's not different. So there has to be a real feedback which comes from the students to the teachers. If that can be maintained, I am sure you will understand what is important, what is not important. That is what is to be done. That eliminates the next point. What I want to tell is the problem elimination and priority setting. That will eliminate my problem and I understand what is the priority which I require. The next one is that point what I want mentioned, the priority setting. So understand the smart lazy people, poor innocent fellows. Who is your student? Do you want only very few or do you want all of them? So you look at what is essentially to be concentrated upon.
Once you do that, I am sure 80% of them require you. So you will lose the first 10%, the most poorest of the poor, and the smartest of the smart who is lazy. Leave them, irreparable sometime. But I am sure you will be able to communicate to the 80% of the best. You should have that mental framework to understand there are some people who are freezer mentally, totally frozen. You cannot change them. There are some people who are active, and there are some people who are like in a zoo. They will just look at like animals. That's what I said. Ahara nidra bhaya maidunani. They will look at you. They don't respond. Like in a zoo, the students sit in your classroom. Probably in this talk also some people stay in a like a zoo. They will just look at me, what this fellow is doing. Let me look at them. That's it. For them, there is a next slide point which I want to tell is the effort and benefit matrix. Anyway, you are sitting here. You are here with me 1 hour. If just logged in and gone out, then nothing can be done. But if you are seriously attending to this class, I am sure you are a person who is valuing the effort of me and valuing the effort of people who are sitting and listening to me. So there are two possibilities. Take it very easy and hard. Benefit can be large and small. So what is to be done? Easily large, effort easy, benefit large. That is what exactly TPS. TPS is not Dr. TPS. Tata Production System, what is talking in the factory sense. That is what is the best production system. You must do it with light, effort, and get large benefit. I am sure each one of you can do that. That only matters to ask few questions. That's what immediately what you can do. The inspire learning. That is what is essentially required. If the performance of somebody, my class I am performing now, how does it become effective? That becomes effective with the opportunity which I got. I am sure opportunity is being given by, started by Dr. Madhava Rao, supported by the Academic Staff College principal, actually made into practice by the Shiva Nagaya, the vice principal. Opportunity is given. The skill is, yeah, I have the skill to do this job. That's why I am into this profession. Now, what is essentially required? Attitude has to be there. The attitude is what you should have and also your listeners should have. How do you create that attitude? That cannot be done in 1.5 hours. That has to be done in a continuous manner. It is the system, it is the institution, it is the culture that the people should have. If somebody believes that opportunity is less, I am telling teachers are the blessed people. Most of the temples when you go, you can see a writing there, Annadanam Paramdanam. The best dana is Annadan. I keep saying you must paint it and then cover it. Otherwise add 2 more lines to that. Annadanam Paramdanam Vidyadanam Param Annena Kshanika Triptihi Yavad Jivam Javidyaya. Annadanam Paramdanam. The best danam is Annadanam. But Vidyadanam is much higher than that. Why? I am sure if you listen very carefully, understand, probably I understand there is no such lecture on quality standards on online teaching covered in KL University so far, probably like this. If you think that, yeah, there is something which is different, this man is talking something different, I am sure your attention will be there. And if 1 point or 2 points, if you can discuss and educate me, probably I will improve. If I am able to give you 1 or 2 points, I am sure you will improve. And that point which somebody talks to me, I will never forget in my life. Similarly, what point I am referring to you, probably you will never forget in your life. Yavat Jivam Javidya, until the end of your life you will remember. That is the advantage of these classrooms. So let that be the actual workplace passion which we have to make it productive. That's the next point which I want to tell you. That effort which you do to create my class into a real passion, which create into a productive job, is what I am trying to do. And there is a lot of scope for that. Get into that job. And I'm sure then you can make a lot of difference in the learning, teaching classroom. The last point which I want to tell you is the quality Kaizen. That is there in the next slide. The Kaizen system, which is a continuous improvement. There is no standardization possible because the Kaizen describes the Kaizen describes what is continuous improvement. It is not that I improve. Every moment I improve. How do I improve? Listening, opening to somebody else. Kaizen, it's a Japanese word. K means change, Zen means good. Kaizen means a good change. That will happen only when you have a quality, technology, a process, more important, a culture in the institution. That determines the productivity, and that should come from the leadership. It should continue. It doesn't happen overnight. Kaizen is a continuous improvement process, which happens only with a teamwork, with a discipline, and a quality which comes with the suggestion for improvement from everybody. So the 5S with Kaizen, the earlier point what I said is 5S, the sorting, simplifying, sweeping, standardizing, sustaining. With the 5S Kaizen, I am sure you have to create your lesson plan, you have to create your thoughts inside the box and outside the box, create a variety of things and involvement with the classroom, create a self-development so that you will start developing your students across. It doesn't matter which platform you use, it matters how well you are going to change yourself adaptable to the technology what is around us. This is what I wanted to tell you. The rest of the points what physical, virtual, acquisition, participation matrix is what already covered in the earlier different content. Sometime the hype, hope and the disappointment. Some people talk about large change and you are not getting close to that, probably you feel upset. That's a disappointment which you will have. There are a lot of hope from you which you don't deserve to be in such a place where you are not able to deliver what you want, or probably the hope from the students is too much and you are not equipped yourself to do that. You will have problems. You will have big ideas. The tool have to be used to make it happen in the classroom. That is what connected, fast, flexible I have already covered. The shaping, learning, the matrix. That's a matrix what I said. You have to digitally really transform yourself into animation, simulation, etc. And don't create change just for a change. Putting my textbook into scanned fashion into the PowerPoint and then start reading it out is not what I am supposed to do. If today's class is creating a small difference in you to think, yes, I also have to make a difference and understand what is to be done, that is creating a future change in you. That is what my objective was. So thank you, thanks a lot. I've used almost 1 hour 20 minutes to talk, little shorter than that, 1 hour 15 minutes to talk, basically because I was looking at the inputs what you give. I'm so happy that 10 to 15 people have already messaged me and I am able to look at it. But the chat box I did not see. If somebody could read it from that, I'll be the happiest if at all something is there. So this is what I want to tell you. Now I'll be open to questions. If you have, probably we could have questions. So I'm glad, and then thank you for giving this opportunity. I must thank Dr. G. Madhava Rao, the HOD of HNS, who gave me the platform, and the principal of Academic Staff College, my good friend who must have spoke to me at length. That is what one of the encouragement which I had to talk on this subject, because he is the first one who spoke to me other than probably the administrative roles which somebody else have got. He took that initiative of talking to me. So I'm thankful to Raghuvir VR, Associate Dean and the Principal of Academic Staff College. And immediately on his instruction, Shiva Nagaya jumped into the field and made it happen. So I'm thankful to Dr. Shiva for that. So if somebody has got few questions, probably you could ask me and I'll be glad.
Now the session is open for discussion. Hello, dear colleagues, the session is open for discussion. Please do interact with the resource person and clarify your doubts. And you can also add your remarks if you help us, because to develop further